Hello travelers! If you are visiting Sweden this Christmas season or are looking to reconnect with your Swedish roots, you have come to the right place. While Christmas is a widely celebrated holiday, different cultures from all over the world have their own unique traditions to celebrate this season, and Sweden is no exception. Today we've compiled a list of Swedish Christmas traditions that are sure to amaze. But before we go through the list, be sure to like this video and subscribe so you won't miss any of our future travel videos. We have a lot of Christmas videos with more on the way that you won't want to miss. Welcome to Tonta's Travel. I'm Julia and this is our list of 10 amazing Christmas traditions in Sweden. Number 10. Advent Sunday. In most countries, things start to get really Christmassy around the middle of December, but in Sweden it is an entirely different ballgame. The Swedes kick off the Christmas festivities and begin to build up the anticipation leading up to the big day on Advent Sunday, which is roughly 4 Sundays before Christmas. To start off the countdown, Swedish families light up the first of 4 candles while sitting around the table snacking on pepparkakor, gingerbread, and saffron-scented Lucia buns washed down with small glasses of glögg, strong Swedish mulled wine. In the following weeks, a candle is lit for each passing Sunday, and the tradition of enjoying certain Christmas treats just before lighting a candle is upheld. By the time Christmas Eve rolls around, all 4 candles will have been lit, signifying the end of the wait. Number 9. The Christmas Window. Nobody loves Christmas more than the Swedish people, and the Christmas window is proof of that. On the first Sunday of Advent, which is usually in the last week of November or the first week of December, Swedish shop owners set up their Christmas display windows to mark the official beginning of the Christmas shopping season. These shop owners give out special discounts and offers to their customers. They also spread Christmas cheer by setting up little contests and quizzes where customers and onlookers can win prizes. While this sounds like a lot of fun, you should know that this tradition is more common in close-knit towns and villages. So if you are looking to win a prize or 2 in a Christmas window contest, you should start making arrangements to visit a Swedish village. If you cannot visit a village, though, do not be discouraged. A few shop owners in larger cities continue to uphold the Christmas window tradition to this day, and you just might be lucky enough to run into one. Number 8. St. Lucy's Day. All over the world, Christmas is regarded as a season of hope, love, and light, which is why it is only fitting that the people of Sweden celebrate the feast of St. Lucia as a precursor to the Christmas tide. According to Catholic history, St. Lucia was a young Christian woman who devised a means of bringing supplies to persecuted Christians hiding in the dark Roman catacombs. To accomplish her mission, Lucia would go down to the catacombs with both hands loaded to the brim with supplies, wearing only a wreath of candles on her head to light up her path, a practice she continued till she was legally persecuted for witchcraft. To celebrate the bravery of this martyr, the Swedish people host annual processions on the 13th of December. Typically, the parade, which takes place in offices and schools all over the country, comprises of young girls dressed in flowing white gowns, carrying candles and singing traditional Christmas songs. At the head of every procession is a young girl wearing a red sash and a wreath of candles in her hair to represent Saint Lucia herself. If you are patient enough to stick around till the end of the procession, you just might receive a reward in the form of free coffee and saffron buns. Number 7. The Christmas Tree Selection. If you asked the Swedish people to compile a list of the most important parts of the Christmas tide, the Christmas tree would probably come right after Christmas treats and gifts. In Sweden, the Christmas tree and its decorations play a huge part in the festivities, which is why the Swedes are very eager to pick the perfect tree. According to Swedish culture, the ideal Christmas tree is densely and evenly branched and is very capable of standing up straight in the home. Swedes who stay in the countryside are known to fell their Christmas trees themselves in a bid to keep things as real as possible. But those who stay in the big city have no other choice than to purchase their trees from stores or squares. In a nutshell, the perfect Swedish Christmas begins with selecting the perfect Christmas tree. So if you happen to be in Sweden when it is a tree shopping season, you might want to keep an eye out. It will surprise you how far the Swedes will go to get the right one. Number 6. Decorations. While Swedish culture is very particular about the features of the Christmas tree itself, there are no specific rules regarding the decoration procedure. Regardless, most Swedish families opt for decorating their trees and homes in line with the minimalist nature that the country itself is known for. The Swedes pride themselves in their ability to keep their Christmas decorations as subtle and rustic as possible. So if you're a foreigner looking to experience a Swedish Christmas, best believe that you will find handmade ornaments on the tree, wreaths on the doors, and hyacinths on the table in place of the artificial tinsel and flashing bright lights that you are probably used to seeing back at home. If you were wondering when exactly the decorations go up in Swedish households, well, that depends on the family and its traditions. Some families start setting up their decorations and trees as soon as Advent rolls around, but others wait until December 13th, St. Lucia's Day, before they begin to pull out the decorations. Number 5. The same show every year. In most countries of the world, Christmas Eve is regarded as the highest level of anticipation leading up to the big day that is Christmas itself. However, in Sweden, the reverse is the case. The Swedish Christmas reaches its climax on Julafton, Christmas Eve. On this day, Swedish families gather together to have dinner together, open presents, and enjoy the spirit of the season. For the most part, the itinerary for this day depends on the family in question. But generally speaking, the festivities typically begin early in the afternoon when all family members, old and young alike, gather around the television to watch a series of old Donald Duck, Kalle Anka, Disney cartoons. If you were wondering, this tradition of broadcasting hour-long Christmas specials dates all the way back to the 1950s, when the television set first made an appearance in Sweden. At the time, animated cartoons were rare, so the Disney classics gained massive popularity. Several years down the line, Swedish families continue to uphold this tradition because of the warm, nostalgic feeling that comes with settling down with loved ones to watch the exact same show year after year. Number 4. Yuleboard Christmas Dinner. If there is one thing that the Swedish Christmas has in common with Christmas celebrations all over the world, it is that there is no Christmas celebration without good food. When the hour-long broadcast of Disney classics come to an end, all members of the family sit down around the table to enjoy a delicious smorgasbord lunch prepared specifically for the festive season. More often than not, the menu for the smorgasbord lunch depends on family traditions and preferences. Still, you will most likely find Swedish meatballs, ham joints, smoked salmon, beetroot salad, pickled herring, and raisin bread on the table. To bring the elaborate lunch to an end, the chef passes around bowls of delicious rice pudding prepared with milk and cinnamon. You know what they say, there is no such thing as too much food on Christmas Day. Number 3. Tonta, aka Santa Claus. All this talk about rice pudding has led us to the next Swedish Christmas tradition on our list. Back in the day, Swedish families would leave a bowl of rice pudding on the porch for Tonta, a mythological creature charged with the protection and welfare of a farmstead and its occupants. Over the years, Tonta has evolved from a grumpy farm gnome into the Swedish version of Santa Claus. Despite his transition into the jolly man who goes around on Christmas Eve distributing gifts to those who have been nice all year round, Tonta still holds on to some of his distinct characteristics. For one, he still takes his bowl of rice pudding very seriously. He also has a different mode of operation. Instead of coming in through the chimney like his American counterpart, Tonta, who is usually played by a family member in costume, comes knocking at the front door. After devouring his rice pudding, he comes in bearing gifts for everyone. Number 2. Interesting gift wrappers. As far as gift wrapping goes, the Swedes are as creative as they come. In most countries of the world, little or no attention is paid to gift wrappers because most people tear through them quickly in a bid to unearth their presents. But in Sweden, this is not the case. While we mindlessly select gift wrappers from store shelves, the Swedes put a lot of thought into their wrappers. For the most part, wrapping is kept as simple as possible and gifts are wrapped in twine and simple paper. However, things take an interesting turn because before handing over the gift, the giver will attach a funny poem or limerick that gives the receiver a hint of what is inside. Number 1. Saint Knut's Day. Like all good things, the Christmas festivities must come to an end, and in Sweden this officially happens on Saint Knut's Day. In Sweden, the feast of Saint Knut, a day set aside in honor of the Danish prince Knut Yuleboard, is celebrated on January the 13th, and it marks the end of the Christmas and holiday season. On this day, the Swedes host an event called a Knut's party or julgransplundring, which literally translates to Christmas tree plundering. During the event, they perform a customary dance around the Christmas tree. Then they proceed to take down and devour all the candies and cookies that previously decorated the tree. When the event comes to an end, the Christmas tree and all other Christmas decorations are taken down. So, what do you think of these Swedish Christmas traditions? Have you taken part in or practiced any of these traditions before? Or are there other fascinating traditions that we missed? Let us know in the comments below. And while there, be sure to like the video and share it with all your friends in the spirit of Christmas. If you liked this video, you would also like these other videos. And if you have already seen them, be sure to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss our future Christmas videos. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.